What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders 2. It's Sunday, y'all, and time for another Sunday chill build. I'll be completely honest, this one I started off naming the spammiest build ever, but then realized it's a pretty chill build as well, so it kind of covers both aspects. Super fast and easy to build, just spamming down lanes, but ends up being a very, very chillaxable experience for your Sunday afternoon. Now, we mentioned this and chatted about it a little bit on live stream the other day, was talking about that Drakenfrost Keep build that Aramir showed me with the boost auras and the anti-heal flame aura, and we're going to do the same thing. So it's basically a one hero build. We've got anti-heal, defense rate, and tenacity on a flame aura with vicious strikes, deadly strikes, and destruction. Any third shard destruction is not necessary. The flame aura is just there for the anti-heal. And then we're going with a drain aura. Drain aura, defense range, and anti-melee with boosted grasp, vicious strikes, and deadly strikes. Boosted grasp is not required in the build either, so that one is completely optional. So here we go. We are just spamming it up. So the general gist of things is we want at least 3 boost auras and 1 flame aura in every single lane. So we're just going to do exactly that. 3 boosty boys and 1 flame aura. So we've got our anti-heal in there. We've got the drain aura to provide all the DPS. And that is it. That's the build. So like I said, super, super fast to build out. Super, super spammy. Placement doesn't matter. Just throw the stuff down. As long as you're getting it down on the ground, you're good. Now, I will say that stacking multiples at the spawn does not seem to be as effective as spreading them down the lane. So I would probably encourage everyone to spread these down the lane and not just stack them at the spawn. This one, we got some mobs going multiple ways, so we'll throw in a couple of extras over here on the sides. Something like that. And we'll do the same thing with the flame auras, actually. Let's get 1 flame aura there. And another one there, and yeah, let's just let it go. So as you see, we got 90 DU left. So there is some playroom. You could throw in kind of anything else you might want, and just let it go. So just super solid, y'all. The Drain Aura has come into its own. Anti-heal, of course, normally is not even remotely required at all for Chaos 10 content. However, it takes the Drain Aura to the next level. You know, if it wasn't for the anti-heal in there, of course the chieftain would just pop their immunity and just roll right on through the Drain Aura. With the anti-heal in there, they pop that immunity, they never get healed up, and, you know, GG's after that. So it looks like we got one that's, I thought he was going to make it down there. We had one getting a little bit sketchy close there. In fact, with that in mind, why don't we just go ahead and throw another boost aura at each side in the middle, just because those enemies are getting quite close. And that will extend the chieftain killing area a little bit more, and use up the rest of that DU, of course. Of course, since we're going so heavy on the range, you see we got flyers coming in. The flyers are kind of a non-issue, because the boost aura and the flame aura are just so large, they're going to take those out. So those are going to get handled as well. So yeah, good stuff. And super, super chill. Flyers and more flyers. These guys, they going to make it? Oh, looks like they're going to make it down. Yeah, it looks like these guys are going to make it in, so we might need... Or, actually, no, they didn't. Alright, so never mind on that one. Now, a few upgrades will certainly resolve that issue. I'm going to upgrade the areas that have the flyers, basically. So we're going to do this outside lane here. And, you know, I guess we got plenty of mana, so we can really just upgrade everything. And then we will get these guys squared away. see with some upgrades in how this performs. I'm assuming it is going to do much better. We're not going to have as many enemies kind of marching down close. I think with the flyers, I put these in too far. When I tested this to see if it would work, I had Boost Star out here. I didn't put it in the spawn like that, so I think that is what's happening with the flyers there. But, yeah, let's just spam them around. We got our upgrades spammed around. Let's see how Wave 2 goes. Now, with the boss, we're going to, you know, any of the mini-bosses, we're going to want to keep an eye on, of course, and burn those down. But, I mean, everything else should just be GG's, you know? It should just get wrecked without any issues. So, the chieftain take enough damage early. You see that guy popped his immunity right as he made it outside of that lane from over in that section. So the chieftain are going to pop their immunity right away. So that means with the anti-heal, they're not going to be able to heal themselves up. And then when their immunity wears off, it's just good stuff. So just wreck them up from there. We got that tenacity on the flame arrow, of course. So getting the cyborgs are just a non-issue. We got a Drakenlord here. It's not a Drakenlord or a Siege Roller friendly build, so we will have to put in a little damage on those guys. Just get rid of the bubble, and it is good. Super strong build, and to be honest with you, I really think that this build will work on every Chaos 10 map. I'm sure there's some exceptions where the DU is tight or it's not quite super efficient. But yeah, I do believe that 3 boost auras with Drain Aura and an anti-heal anything will clear just about every Chaos 10 map in the game. So good stuff there. Of course, one of the big deals there is I've got things like, we've got like the defense range and the anti-melee. Neither of those need to be 10 out of 10. The Drain Aura, of course, is going to be best served if it's a 10. But the range and anti-melee really don't need to be 10 out of 10. Vicious and Deadly certainly help. Boosted Grasp, as I mentioned, is completely optional and definitely unneeded. But let's let it fly again. I'll just spam some upgrades around as the maps are running here. But yeah, I'm not having to engage with pretty much anything other than the mini-bosses, so just good stuff. Take a look at that chieftain there. See, he's in the anti-heal. He's got his immunity popped. As soon as his immunity wears off, though, he is going to just get slapped. So, good stuff. Good stuff for sure. Yep, dead. Gotta love it. Got to love it. See, we better DPS this one while the... there we go. Now we're good. While that boost star was upgrading. Yep, they just die. Everything just dies. We'll get this one here now. It's not big damage, but it's enough damage to get the job done is the thing. Not always about the DPS, you know, we just innately as players in general are always going to look at how much DPS a defense does. And DPS is not always an indicator of effectiveness, that is for sure. These things are doing terrible DPS. But they've got great coverage. They got a built-in, a little built-in slow. And able to get the job done. You could, if you didn't have the anti-melee laying around, you could always throw a controller servo down. But then you're going to be required to use Boosted Grasp. So if you're not always going to use Boosted Grasp, then of course controller would do nothing for you. But that is an option as well. In fact, let me just spam them here. Because I don't really need to be spreading it around this evenly, I don't think. Alright, and here we go for the boss wave. We are going to have to get in the mix on the boss wave, just to get a little added damage down. However, we don't have to get super sweaty. Now, another thing I forgot to mention, some reflect beams are never a bad idea, right? So I'm not using any reflect beams here, but depending on how comfortable you are with just having your core out there, having some reflect beams could be helpful. And of course, just getting rid of one boost star anywhere would resolve that. Like I would get rid of one of the boost stars from these sides because the enemies here, if anything leaks, still has to run up and into these boost stars. But anyway, I'm going to start off over here with the monk, and we'll just kind of work our way around the map. So I'm going to go monk first, then squire, and then I'll do huntress and apprentice afterwards. But yeah, let's just get it. Popped everything a little bit early here, but the monk down. We're going to have the squire right up here. Come on, Mr. Squire. Go ahead and pull on out of there. Squire's about just about halfway, or past half now. All right, Squire down. And then we look at the apprentice. The apprentice is actually at half health already. Do we actually need to DPS the apprentice? Yeah, it looks like it. The apprentice is going to take a shot at the core if it gets down too much farther. So definitely want to get involved with the bosses. And then there we go. Pretty smooth runner, really. Kind of shocking how smooth it does run. So the design, of course, I sat here and chillaxed it out. Your best way to play always is going to be semi-AFK and not just ignoring things. So if you do see anything walking down the lane that's getting relatively close, you're going to want to take some shots at it. There will be some chieftain that get a little bit sketchy and make you think, is this going to make it as they make it down to the end? However, overall, a pretty chillaxing experience, even if you just stood here and just checked for leaks and just kind of sprayed around a little bit into all the lanes. Still going to have a really, really good experience there. Looks like we got no snakeskin armor this time around, Big Booze. But that will do it for now. So thanks an absolute ton for watching. Happy Sunday, y'all. Hopefully everyone is having a wonderful weekend. And I will see you all next time. Take it easy.